Inspector's got to be happy with that.
I'm sorry, what are we talking about?
Last month's crime stat.
Oh, yes. Well, they are put down.
I've got 2 words for you. Self-hypnosis.
What?
It'll help you relax and get to sleep. I could teach you after work.
I don't need self-hypnosis, Jones. I need a plumber. I didn't get any sleep last night because of a dripping tap.
No, that'll be the washer. You don't need a plumber for that.
Don't tell me. You can do it.
Just say the word.
Morning, all.
Hey!
Morning.
Hey, so how'd you go? Very nice. The bishop's wife makes a particularly fine pumpkin scone.
And?
And Bishop Reynolds has agreed to perform the ceremony.
Beautiful.
The big day is...
First Saturday in October.
A spring wedding. Congratulations, boss.
That's soon. Doesn't give you much time.
Yes, don't I know it?
Yeah, well done, boss.
Thank you, Joan.
Have you organised the honeymoon yet?
As a matter of fact, I have, yes.
Well, don't hold out. Where are you going?
But the resort of your dreams?
In my dreams, I'd actually prefer to be fishing.
Where are you going fishing?
Unfortunately, no. I've chosen another destination.
Where?
I'm not saying. It's a surprise.
Grace doesn't know about it.
Well, it'd hardly be a surprise if she did know about it, would it?
She'll love it, whatever it is.
Thanks.
Oh, it's not that dodgy motel on the other side of St David's, is it?
The one with the mirrors on the ceiling.
The videos.
Yeah, all right, you two. Look after this gentleman.
Yes, sir. How can I help you?
Yeah, I'm Mark Robbins. I'm here to report an attempted murder.
Right, and you're the intended victim, eh?
No, it's the girlfriend. My wife's trying to kill her. She was bright as a button this morning.
Your wife?
My girlfriend. And then I got a phone call from her work saying she just, keeled over. And now she's fighting for her life in hospital. The doctor thinks she might have been poisoned.
And you think your wife did this?
Oh, she hates Tonya's guts.
Well, has she made any threats?
Oh, no, but she thought I'd go running back. She never thought I'd end up with Tonya.
I'm sorry, Mr. Robbins, we're going to need some more evidence.
You want evidence?
Boysenberry jam.
It's Aunt Sally's boysenberry jam. My wife's the Aunt Sally on the label.
And Tonya...
Well, I ate this for breakfast.
I reckon.
Well, you only reckon.
Oh, my band had a gig last night. I didn't get up till late. But when I got up, that was on the kitchen table.
Oh, Mr. Robbins, we're going to need a
Just
lot more to
test
go
it.
on.
I mean, it's probably full of poison.
It's definitely poisoning.
Any ideas?
I'd only be guessing. I'm still waiting on test results.
And will you know?
Well, is it likely to be fatal?
We're doing the best we can.
Okay, Mel, if you had to guess, what would it be?
Organophosphates.
Why?
Well, from experience, we've often had farmers in here with similar symptoms. Usually because they've been careless spraying with pesticides.
I'm guessing Tonya's not a farmer.
No, she works in the post office. Sally's the one with the farm.
I hardly know the woman. Why would I want to poison her?
She's your husband's new girlfriend.
I was the one who ended our marriage. It's no skin off my nose that Mark's taken up with someone else.
So, if you didn't give it to her, do you know how else she might have come by it?
How would I know? Are you sure it was my jam that made her sick?
We're not sure, no, but we're having the bottle tested. We'll find out soon enough.
And if the tests come back positive, what then?
We notify the Department of Health.
They'll close me down.
They wouldn't have any choice in the circumstances. I'm sorry.
You haven't had any other customers complaining of being sick, have you?
No, of course not.
I don't suppose you keep some sort of record.
You're not going to start bothering my customers, are you?
No, but it might be useful to find out who they are.
All right.
And that one and that one. How much is that?
I can only give you a record of my mail order customers. The rest come through here.
Sally, we're going to need some more mango lime chutney.
This is Campbell Ferguson. He's helping out in the shop.
I'm a marketing consultant, actually.
Mr. Ferguson?
It'll be $18.75.
What's going on?
Thanks.
A woman by the name of Tonya Berensky is ill in hospital, and there's been allegations that the bottle of jam came from here.
I might leave it, thank you.
Mummy, Tonya's not gonna die like Gramps, is she?
No, darling, no. Gramps was old. This is different. We'll need a list of mail order customers off the database.
Yeah, I'll just get this delivery out of the way.
It'd be better if you didn't send out any more product. Just until we get to the bottom of this.
This is a new client. What am I supposed to say to them?
I've just signed on with a big Melbourne distributor. I'm about to break into the metro market.
Lucky break.
Oh, the harder I work, the luckier I get.
And who else knows about this?
Oh, everybody, just about. There was a story in the Gazette last week. You know, local outfit makes good.
And you haven't had any threats or extortion attempts?
No.
Mr. Ferguson?
Oh, we'd have reported it to the police if we had. I'll get that list.
Quite a setup you've got here.
Thank you.
You've done it all by yourself.
Mark helped out in the beginning, when he could find time between gigs.
How long since the two of you split?
18 months.
Sarge?
It's pesticide. Hardly a surprising thing to find on a farm.
Well, when did you last use it?
Well, not since I turned the place over to berries. I'd like to claim my ingredients are pure.
Yeah, well, there's nothing pure about the ingredients in Tanya Berinsky at the moment.
Thank you, Constable. We'll have to hold on to this for the moment.
Yeah, be my guest.
Oh, you scared me. What's your name?
Scott.
Scott? Jonesy.
Hi. Did my mum's jam make Tony sick?
We don't know the answer to that yet, mate. But if we can find out, it might help the doctors make it better.
Is she very sick?
She's in good hands, mate. You like Tanya, don't you?
Yeah, she's cool. She gave me a PlayStation 2 for my birthday.
Really? Have you played Jack and Daxter?
I've got it. And Monsters Inc. And FIFA 2002. I don't want her to die.
Listen, Scott. Do you know what made Tanya sick?
It's my fault.
Why?
I gave her the jam.
Scott! Come on, honey.
So you're saying Scott gave Tanya Berinsky that bottle of jam without asking your permission first?
That's right.
In fact, you knew nothing about any of this until we told you.
No.
So your son stole from you to give to your ex's girlfriend. Jeez, how did that make you feel?
Well, how do you think it made me feel? Well, she spoils those kids rotten.
And Scott gives her presents for it.
5 years I've worked building up that place. Do you really think I'd throw everything away for a bit of cheap revenge?
Excuse me, lab results from Melgata. Yep. It's confirmed, Mrs. Robbins. Your jam was contaminated with organophosphates.
Yeah, not by me it wasn't.
But it came directly from you.
I didn't have anything to do with poisoning that jam. If anyone's responsible, it's the guy next door.
So what time do you want me over tonight to change that washer?
I don't.
Well, a plumber will cost you a fortune.
No, I won't. It's a police residence.
Yeah, but you'll be bogged down in red tape.
Anyway, I'm not getting a plumber. I'm going to do it myself.
Well, it might be a bit harder than you think.
Hey, maybe Albie went through here.
That's the Robbins place, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's he up to?
Albie O'Connor?
Yeah.
What are you doing this side of the fence?
Well, one of my cows got out and I thought she might have wandered over here.
Is that right, sir? You better keep a closer eye on your cows. This one's been very naughty.
All right, so I was spraying her blackberries.
Boysenberries.
Boysenberries, blackberries, what's the difference? I was still within me rights.
No, you weren't.
It's a nice little place, that. When her father had it. It's a dairy farm like mine. Now it's gone to rack and ruin.
All those tourists might disagree.
Ah, tourists.
A woman is fighting for her life in hospital because she ate some jam made from contaminated berries.
You're joking.
You should have thought about that before you went around spraying pesticides on other people's property.
Pesticides? What are you talking about?
We caught you, Albie, spraying Mrs. Robbins' fruit.
You won't find any pesticides in there, girl. I was trying to kill the berries, not the bloody insects. I was using weed killer.
Forensic report, boss. There was no organophosphates in Albie's weed killer.
Silly bugger. You'll charge him?
I've threatened him with unlawfully on premises and criminal damage. Should teach him a lesson.
This is Albie O'Connell we're talking about. What now?
Well, the Berensky woman's out of danger, so it shouldn't be long before we can talk to her.
Health department notified?
Well, they're contacting all the Sally Robbins customers and informing the press as we speak.
Poor woman. She won't have much of a business left.
Yeah, well, what'd she expect?
You've seen what she's done out there. She'd hardly put everything at risk.
Jealousy's a powerful motive.
Jealousy? She threw her husband out.
Yeah, and then he got himself a girlfriend, and she wasn't expecting that. Honeymoon heaven? This isn't mine.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, is this where you're taking Grace?
Hey, give me a look. Oh, very nice, boss.
Yeah, especially if you like to boogie till dawn.
Boogie? I was after something a bit more romantic, actually.
Yeah, well, it gets young honeymoon couples by the busload, if that's what you mean by romantic.
Not exactly, no.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't worry too much about the noise, boss. You and Grace won't be getting much sleep anyway, will you?
A girlfriend of mine, Emily, went there last year. Didn't draw a sober breath for the whole 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, I did try and warn him.
I don't suppose this is police work you lot are gossiping about?
Not quite, no.
Thanks very much, Jones. This is precisely the reason I wanted to keep my honeymoon plans a secret.
I thought it was because you didn't want Grace to know.
But we're just trying to stop you from making terrible mistakes.
Your concern for my welfare is very touching, Parish, but I'm sure you've got some police work you could be doing.
Tony Timms from the Gazette.
Oh, what on earth does he want?
Check out a rumour, he said.
I probably heard about your honeymoon plans, boss.
Spare me. I'm not in the mood.
I've got it.
Mount Thomas Police, Sergeant Gallagher speaking.
Have you considered Hawaii?
No, I haven't.
Well, Mum and Dad went there for a second honeymoon years back, and they had a whale of a time.
Yeah, you don't say. And what was the Australian dollar worth then?
Probably more than it is now. But there are some great package deals. I could check them out for you.
Tony Timms wants to know whether it's true if an extortion letter was received by Aunt Sally's preserves.
Where did he hear that?
An anonymous call, he says.
Protecting his sources more like.
Making it up, I wouldn't put it past him.
We asked Sally if anyone was threatening her or extorting her. She said they weren't.
Yeah, but she'd have all the reason in the world to lie, wouldn't she?
I've told you once. The answer's no.
Sally, if you want this business to blow over, you're going to have to start cooperating with us. And then maybe we can help you.
Somebody made a call to the Gazette.
You better be right.
Well, why would they do that if there was nothing to it?
I think maybe you'd better tell them.
That bastard, he's going to destroy everything. You better see this. It's a demand for money.
It says that more people are going to be poisoned unless Sally hands over $40,000.
Who to? Where and when?
It doesn't say, Constable.
It's a put-up job. I don't even think Mark could stoop this low.
You think your husband might have something to do with this?
After that article appeared about me in the Gazette, he showed up here crying poor and asking for his share. Now his girlfriend gets sick and this arrives. I mean, you work it out.
When did you receive this, Mrs. Robbins?
A couple of days ago.
Except Sally didn't do anything about it because she thought her husband sent it.
Yeah, that's right.
And his partner, Tonya Berensky, when she got sick?
He was trying to call my bluff, obviously. He hand-delivered that letter.
Did you actually see him hand-deliver it?
No, the letterbox is up on the main road.
Well, did one of your kids see him?
No.
So you think he sent this because he asked you for money and you turned him down?
It was me that made that place what it is today. He'd played no part.
But didn't he work there before the splitter?
Work? Is that what you call it? He used to stay out until all hours, drinking and playing with that loser band of his. He never even got up before 11.
Was he angry when you didn't give him the money?
He wasn't happy.
Did he make any threats?
He called me a bitch.
Is that it?
Look, Mark always hated that farm. He even tried to sell it behind my back.
Did he make any threats?
Well, no, not as such.
All right, thanks, Mrs. Robbins. We'll be in touch.
Oh, what do you think?
Anyone could have poisoned this jam and sent this note.
Except her husband's girlfriend is the one who gets sick.
Amazing coincidence, I grant you that.
I think perhaps it's time for another chat with Mark Robbins.
I am not trying to blackmail my wife, all right?
You asked her for money, didn't you?
Yeah, I was entitled.
And you were angry when she turned you down?
Yes, I was angry. I put my heart and soul into that place. I kept it going while her dad had cancer.
Oh, you wanted to sell it, though, didn't you?
Well, after Frank died, it was going out backwards. I had a good offer.
But your wife had other ideas.
The great chutney-led recovery.
What, you don't like chutney, Mr. Robbins?
What I don't like is being made to feel about as useful as an ashtray on a motorbike.
Oh, sounds like a good reason for getting even.
Oh, this is crap. I'm going back to the hospital.
So fast.
What's that?
It's a warrant to search your premises.
Oh, really?
Well, you know what I think of your warrant?
What's this? Another upgrade?
Yeah, we should be so lucky.
This belongs to Mark Robbins.
Tess thinks that he may have left the ransom note on the hard drive.
If it was ever there, the boffins will find it. Put that through the property book, will you, Evan?
Mr. Robbins must have been real happy to see his computer gear walk out the door.
Not quite the word.
He's lucky he's not charged with assault police.
That'd go down well in court. And what was the assault weapon, Senior Detective? It was actually a screwed-up search warrant, Your Worship.
Shows he's got a temper.
It doesn't make him a blackmailer.
He's got a grievance. That gives him motive.
Yeah, but who wouldn't have a grievance? I mean, that's Sally. She's a hard woman.
Sometimes women are made hard by the men in their lives. I'm for a drink. Anyone coming?
Police have confirmed that a ransom demand received by Aunt Sally's Preserves is linked to the collapse of a Mount Thomas postal worker earlier today. 40-year-old Tonya Borensky took ill
If
after
you ask
eating
me,
his boysenberry
that
jelly.
bloody Robbins woman sent that note to herself.
Now, why would she do a thing like that?
No, she couldn't make a go of it. She's looking for a way out.
Don't you have a home to go to?
No use going home. Mrs. went to stay with her sister in Launceston on Saturday.
Yeah, well, Sally Robbins has got enough grief without you.
Only telling you the truth, that's all. She's in big trouble.
She's not the only one.
Listen, you wouldn't say anything to anyone, would you? About me spraying her berries?
Yeah, I might, if you don't shut up.
Well, you Sheilas, you all stick together, don't you?
Boss, I've got it.
You will try not to give it to me.
Yeah, no, I went and saw Amy from Penhope Travel. We found the perfect place for your honeymoon. Huh?
Not Hawaii.
Yeah, no, better. Look, this one.
Oh, that's really lovely, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very reasonable, too, for a foreign country.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you generally find things are cheap after a coup, boss.
A coup.
There was a tiny problem, but the rebels only killed the royal family and their sympathisers. They didn't touch the tourists. Boss, did you bring it?
Yeah, it's pretty big. Are you sure you don't need a hand?
Yep, I'll be fine. Thanks. Better get going.
What was that about?
Oh, it was a shifter. She asked me if she could borrow a big shifter.
To change a washer?
Well, she didn't tell me what she wanted it for.
Who is it? What are you doing here?
I thought you might want to borrow the right tools.
Oh, I've got the right tools. Thanks. In fact, I'm almost done.
Really?
Yeah. So, thanks, but no thanks.
And what about the water?
It's not a problem. Bye.
Have you turned it off? Something's missing.
That would be the sergeant.
Uh-oh.
I'd like her to sleep in.
Buzz not being the one to wake her up. Morning. Sorry I'm late.
Been somewhere?
No, why?
Because the police residence is that way.
Haven't you got some work to be getting on with?
Get on all right, did you?
Yes, fine. Thanks, boss. Okay.
You found the
I'll
shampoo
read
and
it.
everything?
I did.
Good.
I did.
You didn't turn the water off, did you?
I don't really need to talk.
And you flooded your place last night?
Can we move on?
And that's why you're late, isn't it? Because you had to go over to the boss's place and use his shower.
Have you finished gloating?
Well, I hope the water isn't still gushing. You want me to go and have a look?
No. We don't have time to be talking about this. We're dealing with an extortion attempt, remember? So the health department is handling the product recall?
No one else fallen ill?
Not so far. The bottle Tonya Borensky had might have been the only one. We'll find out more when forensics have finished testing the samples.
Suspects?
The readership of the Mount Thomas Gazette.
We are taking Mrs. Robbins' accusation seriously. That husband has a chip on his shoulder, not to mention a foul temper.
But the warrant drew a blank?
I'll reserve judgment on that until we see what the computer crime squad comes up with.
It could just as easily be Sally acting out of jealousy.
So she sends herself a ransom note?
To cover her tracks, why not?
Guys, you don't have any evidence.
Then let's get some.
Bye. Another one of Mark Robbins' unpaid creditors. He's got quite a string of them, apparently.
So he's a lousy money manager thing.
Worse than that, he forged his wife's signature on a loan document.
Why didn't we hear about it?
She didn't want the matter dragged through court, apparently. But it was the last straw for their marriage.
But it still doesn't make him an extortionist.
Well, it shows he's got a track record with dishonesty.
Tess, you called a plumber? Oh, right, yep. Thanks, Joe. Max. Yeah, hi, it's Tess. Yeah? Well, I managed to turn the water off, but the knob came off. Yeah.
Mount Thomas Police and your Constable Stewart speaking.
No, it's urgent. You don't
Is he?
understand.
Tess?
Yeah, no, I understand, but...
Sally Robbins, there's a problem.
What do we got here?
You can stay out of this, mate. It's got nothing to do with you.
You blackmailing bastard! You won't get one red cent!
She has crack in the head.
Robbins,
She has
this
crack.
isn't I told you what!
You don't get to tell me anything, mate.
Just calm down.
Mr. Robbins, just settle down.
I just came to pick up my kids.
Go to hell, Mark.
She can't do that.
No, he's right. You can't change custody arrangements without a court order.
He hasn't got access until tomorrow.
Just want to take them to the hospital to see Tanya.
You heard the lady. You can stay out of it.
You can get stuffed.
Don't talk to him like that.
Oh, why not? Because he's screwing you.
You are disgusting.
I don't know
Just
how he
calm
does
down.
it with no balls.
You bastard!
Good one, Jones. Mr. Robbins, you're coming with us. No, Constable, I've got him.
Just get him out of my sight.
If she wants to play dirty, she's got it. I will fight her for full custody of the
I'd
kids.
calm down if I were you, sir. You're already facing an assault charge.
I was bloody provoked.
Sit down. Sit. There was provocation, all right, and it was all coming from you.
I am entitled to see my
You're
kids.
big on entitlement, aren't you, Mr. Robbins?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Forging your wife's signature. Was that something you're entitled to do?
I thought so at the time. Okay, it was a mistake.
A mistake? I call it fraud. Makes me wonder what else you do to get money out of your wife.
I don't do that sort of thing anymore, all right?
Changed man, are you?
The farm was Sally's dream. It wasn't mine. I just wanted to get out.
By stealing from her?
I wasn't thinking clearly. I was drinking too much. Sally kicking me off the farm was the best thing that ever happened to me. I met Tanya not long afterwards and I gave up the booze and I have not looked back since.
He's behaved like this for the last time. I want him charged.
If Mr. Ferguson here wants to make a complaint...
Yeah, of course he does.
I wasn't badly hurt. Why don't we let it go?
I've let enough go already. He'll be laying a complaint.
Mrs. Robbins.
Just in from forensics. All right, thanks, Constable. Good news. None of the other jars in your shop were contaminated.
Does this mean I can start trading again?
Oh, not just at the moment. The health department will be in touch.
They've tested all the bottles.
That's what we were told.
We'd hate to inadvertently poison someone. Don't think the insurance company would like it much either.
Mount Thomas Police, Constable Jones speaking.
Don't just think. Thief breaks into one of those big old places on Hetherington Way, leaves thousands of dollars worth of electrical goods and jewellery untouched, but rifles through the pantry.
Maybe he was hungry.
No, there was nothing taken as far as the owners could tell.
Tanya Berensky's ready to talk.
Poor bugger. I think he suffered worse than me.
You're looking a lot better.
Oh, jeez, I must have looked crook before.
So what happened yesterday morning?
Well, I was at work, sorting the mail, and then suddenly I was sick as a dog. And the lights went out. Mark told me it was a jam I had for breakfast.
Did Mark also mention that Sally Robbins has received a demand for money?
Yeah, I know. That's weird, huh?
Did Mark handle the jam at any point yesterday?
Hang on. What are you saying? That Mark did this to me?
Oh, we're just trying to establish who had contact with the jam before breakfast yesterday.
Not Mark, okay? I mean, I didn't even tell him I had it.
Why not?
Well, because, I mean, he's not exactly Sally's biggest fan. I didn't want him flying off the handle.
So you're saying his son gave that bottle of jam to you as a present, but he didn't even know about it?
Yeah. Except that wasn't the bottle that poisoned me.
Well, we were led to believe that Scott
I accidentally knocked that one off the top shelf and it broke.
Yeah, but Mark brought it into the station.
Yeah, because I went out and bought another one to replace it. I didn't want to hurt the kids' feelings.
So she bought the contaminated bottle from Sally Robbins' shop.
Which means that anybody could have tampered with it.
Especially as Sally's going for that homemade look. And there's no vacuum seal. You could just syringe the poison into the jam and screw the lid back on.
Maybe she saw somebody suspicious hanging around.
Except Sally wasn't even serving that day.
Sorry, but I was far too busy to notice. Busload from Benalla.
You didn't have anyone in the shop helping you?
Oh, normally I would have been here, but I was in Melbourne that day finalising an order. Waste of time, as it turned out.
They rang up and cancelled this morning.
We are doing our best to get to the bottom
Yeah,
of
so
this.
you keep saying. Sorry, that was uncalled for.
No, it's okay. This must be very difficult for you.
Look, now that I think about it, there was someone. That farmer, the one who lives next door.
Albie O'Connell?
Yes, hanging around like a bad smell he was.
What, did you speak to him?
Well, only for a moment. I asked him if he wanted to buy something and he made some lame excuse and left.
He's an ignorant bigot, but I can't believe he'd do something like that.
We caught him, boss, red-handed, spraying Sally's boysenberries.
Yes, because he thought they were encroaching on his land. But this is a premeditated criminal act.
It's one way of getting rid of Sally.
What would he have left to whinge about? Albie loves nothing more than having a good win.
Tom, what is this I hear about arranging a honeymoon without first consulting me?
Who told you about? Never mind, you don't have to answer that.
Anyway, you know my cousin Kathleen down at Port Fairy. You know the one with the B&B?
Yes, how can I forget?
Yeah, well, anyway, she's going to do you a really good deal.
That's very nice of her, but I really haven't made any decision yet.
Well, she's waiting for your call. There you go, usual.
So, what are we going to do about Albie?
Albie, what's he done now?
Nothing.
We were just speculating, Chris, as to how seriously Albie takes his feud with Sally Robbins.
Well, Sally committed the cardinal sin, didn't she? Well, she got between Albie and her fast buck.
How's that?
Well, when Sally's old man passed away, Albie was all set to buy the farm. Me and Mark were in here celebrating.
Sally didn't know about this, I take it.
She hit the roof when she found out, and I don't blame her. I mean, Mark was trying to sell the place for a song, a silly deal.
Sounds like a pretty good motive for blackmail.
All right. First thing in the morning, see if you can get the magistrate to give you a search warrant.
If you buggers would tell me what you're looking for, maybe I could help you find it.
Excuse me. Sarge?
I've never seen that before in my life. Why would I want to poison her jam?
You and Mark had a deal, didn't you? You're going to buy their property.
What's that got to do with it?
Sally Robbins is forced out of business. Might come up on the market again.
So I sent her a ransom note. Now I've heard everything.
Don't act so surprised, Albie. Yesterday we found you trying to destroy her property.
I was trying to get rid of a noxious weed. Look, I got mixed up with Mark once before. That was enough for one lifetime.
What, bad experience?
Yeah, well, he's a drunk with a big mouth.
He told you selling that property was up to him, didn't he?
Well, her signature was just meant to be a formality.
It's Sally's farm.
And he's her husband. I mean, we shook hands. A man's supposed to be able to rely on that.
How did you feel when the deal fell through?
Well, I was spitting chips, wasn't I? And the bank loan was lined up and everything.
Pity.
Yeah, that's right, son. Pity. And that is exactly what happens when the woman wears the pants.
So you thought you'd show her, didn't you?
I told you I wasn't there.
I put it to you that you went to Sally Robbins' shop the day before yesterday and you used this syringe to inject organophosphates into one of her jams.
I never.
Do you own a computer, Albie?
What would I want with one of them?
What were you doing in the shop?
I told you I wasn't there.
You were seen.
Yeah? By who? A blind man, eh? Look, I got no reason to go to her shop because my wife makes all the jam I need.
If it was Albie, what did he write the ransom note on?
What, there was no computer in his house?
No, just an old Remington typewriter with a worn-out ribbon.
Doesn't mean he couldn't have used one of the ones in the public library.
Albie, his idea of the latest technology is mechanised milking.
Oh, pantry thief strikes again.
They get anything this time?
Not as far as we could tell.
At least they had the good sense to leave the jam alone.
She's still got some of that stuff. I would have thought everybody would have heard about the product recall by now.
Miss Seymour's both short-sighted and deaf.
Was there any jam at the place that got burgled yesterday?
Didn't ask.
Can you find out for me?
Yeah, sure thing.
Are you sure?
No question. That burglar was after Aunt Sally's jam.
And all the burg victims yesterday had some of it too, only they'd handed theirs back.
Look, if you're right about this, then why wasn't Miss Seymour's bottle taken?
Wasn't the right one.
He knows exactly which one he's going for.
See, this is the bottle of jam that Mark Robbins brought in yesterday. See this squiggly line? Someone's extended it with a pen.
Oh, yeah. Well, you think the extortionist's on this?
Mark Robbins goes over to Sally's place to pick up the kids, poisons the jam, marks the bottle so that Tonya knows which one to buy.
The only problem is that Tonya almost died.
Well, that's a simple miscalculation. Neither of them are chemists.
Listen, if they're right about this and they're now breaking into houses trying to get the bottles back, it means there's poison jam out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Is Tonya out of hospital yet?
Discharged this morning.
You better pick him up, quick smart.
She's still not well. She should be resting.
Oh, she can put her feet up here. We just need to ask her some questions.
How many more questions have you got?
Kid, this isn't right.
You sit down, please. Miss Berensky, come through.
No, she is not going anywhere.
Look, Maggie, let's just humour him, eh? It's easier all the way round.
Sounds like good advice.
You would say that.
Please, Maggie.
Good man.
There's been another burglary. I've sent Stewart and Parrish to attend.
When was this?
About 5 minutes ago. This time he was disturbed, got away on foot.
But that means...
It can't be these two.
You told us that you bought the jam at Aunt Sally's shop last week.
Yeah, that's right.
Was Mr. Ferguson serving behind the counter that day?
Yeah, he was.
Well, who selected that particular bottle of jam? Was it you or him?
He did. I couldn't find the boysenberry jam at first, so I asked him for help and he got it down for me.
All right, mate, thanks for that.
So June
Yeah, I'll buy you a
July.
beer. All right.
Right, and what are you doing about that?
Right. Ferguson comes to town 4 months ago with a shiny new marketing degree, rents one of those new townhouses on Penhope Road, hangs out a shingle and buys a flash new car on the Never Never.
The marketing business in Mount Thomas support a lifestyle like that?
Yeah, well, my newest best friend from the Chamber of Commerce thinks not. In fact, Aunt Sally's is about the only substantial client he's got.
Well, according to the finance company, he's missed the last 2 repayments on the car.
40 grand would come in handy by the sounds.
Whoa, keep your shirt on. You're right, hang on. Albie O'Connell, you should get the sergeant. You will never guess.
Some mongrel's broken in here and gone through all my cupboards.
There doesn't seem to be any sign of it, Albie.
Yeah, well, I tied it up, didn't I?
Didn't realise you were the house-proud type, Albie.
Listen, son, the missus is coming back from Tassie this harbour, and I don't want to give her the impression I can't look after myself.
Are you sure there was actually a break-in?
Of course I'm sure. What do you take me for?
Well, sometimes when a bloke's staying on his own, things can get a bit disordered. Especially when he's been on the terps.
Yeah, well, I haven't been on the bloody terps. And if you don't believe me, come and look at this. Come on, over here. See? It's stuffed.
Sarge!
And you don't think anything was taken?
No, they just pulled everything out of my cupboards and then buggered off.
You didn't have a jar of jam from next door, did you?
You gotta be joking. That stuff had only come into this house over my dead body.
No, he's in here. I saw him coming back a minute ago.
Well, he hasn't been here.
No, he went for a walk.
G'day, Mr. Ferguson. What are you doing here?
We wanted to speak to you.
Well, here I am.
Down at the station, if you wouldn't mind.
Looking for this?
The indentations on Albie O'Connell's window frame match perfectly with this tyre lever.
Or thousands of others.
No one can vouch for your whereabouts at the time of the burg.
It doesn't mean I did
Or
it.
at the times of any of the other 3 burgs.
I've got nothing more to say. And we will be taking your fingerprints after this interview, you know. It won't do you any good. Why? Do you wear gloves? It wasn't me!
What's it all about, Campbell? Is there more of that poison jam out there?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You have to get it back, don't you? Just in case the next person isn't as lucky as Tonya Berensky.
And if something goes wrong and someone dies, mate, you could be up for murder.
I'll take my chances.
You're a gambler, are you, Campbell? Well, you'd want to be, because I've got people out there door-knocking now, and if anyone saw you or your vehicle near any one of those bergs, you're gone.
The question is, mate, how well do you cover your tracks?
Well, he must have left evidence somewhere.
So we get a warrant and go through his place like a dose of salts.
While we're doing that, someone else gets poisoned.
Mrs. Robbins.
Hi, I came in to ask about Campbell.
He's still helping us with our inquiries.
What exactly do you suspect him of? I think I have a right to know.
It's highly likely that he's behind the extortion attempt.
What? He poisoned my jam?
Yeah, and nearly killed Tonya Berensky.
I can really pick him, can't I?
Sarge.
It's all right, Constable. Mr. Ferguson's free to go. We're sorry to have dragged you down here in the first place, sir. It seems we were barking up the wrong tree entirely.
Well, as long as everything's cleared up.
Oh, yes, we're following a different line of inquiry now.
What?
Oh, I'm not really at liberty to say, but it's sent us in a different direction. The good news is there was only one jar of contaminated jam.
There is?
Yeah, it seems we were wrong about the second jar, so looks like Aunt Sally's Preserves is back in business.
Campbell, you've heard the news, isn't it great?
Yeah, fantastic.
Sally wanted to celebrate, so she brought us some afternoon tea. Care for a jam scone, Mr. Ferguson?
No, thank you. Big lunch.
You sure? They look delicious.
Quite, thank you.
Well, I don't mind if I do.
Yeah, lovely.
Very generous gesture, Mrs. Robbins.
No, don't!
Something wrong, Mr. Ferguson?
You can't eat that. The jam's poisoned.
But how do you know?
I marked the jar, look.
Yes. So did we.
But
You bastard, Campbell.
I can explain.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Come on, sir.
To think I trusted you.
Oh, trust, that's a laugh. Yours was the only opinion that ever counted. When did I ever say?
All right, that's enough, Mr. Ferguson. Sit down.
She hired a marketing consultant, but all she really wanted was a gopher.
So that made it okay to extort money from her?
She was paying me a pittance.
Sally didn't take your note seriously.
She assumed it came from Mark and didn't do anything about it.
Why Tonya Berensky?
Well, why not?
She's Mark Robbins' girlfriend, for one thing.
You think I'd have picked her if I'd known that? Brought you guys way too close.
That's why you sent us up the garden path with the syringe at Albies.
So why Tonya?
Well, she came into the shop looking for boysenberry jam. Well, I didn't think she'd be too badly affected by the poison.
She ended up in hospital fighting for her life.
Yeah, then just when I thought things couldn't get any worse, the second jar disappears.
The one you're trying to find by breaking into people's houses.
I put it right at the back of the shelf. No one was supposed to buy it.
Then why put it there?
To be analysed. So you people would know I'm in business and pay the money.
We should charge you with being a terminal idiot, Mr. Ferguson.
Well, at least you've got the second jar back. Someone could have died.
We haven't got it back.
But you mocked up that jar.
Yeah, from the first one. The second jar's still out there.
But it's got twice as much stuff in it. You've got to get it back.
Albie swore black and blue that he wouldn't have any of that jam in his house.
Well, Ferguson must have known there was, otherwise why would he burgle the place?
Over his dead body, he said.
It just might be. Mrs. O'Connell?
Yes.
Ah, what is it now? Can't let a man have his bloody afternoon tea in peace.
Hey, put the scone down!
No! What did you do that for?
Because the jam in that scone's been poisoned.
I told you before, son, there's none of that bloody crap in my house.
Oh, you silly old goat. Do you think I've got nothing better to do than make jam for you? I've been buying Sally's jam and putting it in another jar.
There was enough poison in that jam to kill 10 of you. Boss, it's Amy from Penhope Travel.
I'll take it in my office. Parish? No, look, I don't think we... Well, look, is there any way that I can get the view without the spark? No. Look, I'll call you back. Yeah, bye. Bye-bye. Suppose you want to put in your 2 cents worth as well, do you?
Sorry?
About this honeymoon of mine, everybody else seems to have an opinion.
I know, I just came to give you this brief, that's all.
Ah, right, thanks.
Bad. You've got my opinion.
Oh, go on.
Why did you ask her?
Grace?
Well, none of us are going to be on the honeymoon.
I hope not. I wanted it to be a surprise.
Well, it'll be a real surprise if you end up going somewhere you both hate. Ask her.
All right. I've got an announcement to make. Oh, Chris, you can stay and listen to this too.
Oh.
After careful consideration and taking everybody's splendid advice into account, Grace and I have reached a decision about our honeymoon, and we've decided to go fishing.
Fishing? You can't do that.
Why not?
It's not romantic at all.
You don't say. It's what Grace wants. It's what we both want. We're going to have a marvellous time.
Ah, well, it's the last time I'm going to help you out.
It's a good decision, boss. I think Nano Goon's a lovely spot.
Yes, spare us.
Hey, Tess, got something for you.
Oh, thank you very much.
Look, don't be insulted by the title. It has everything you'd ever want to know about changing a washer.
Thanks, I think.
You know, once you've learned, you probably need to go down to the hardware store and find the right tools.
Gotta be closed by now.
Yeah, probably will be.
Be very expensive too.
Yeah, well, plumbing stuff is.
It's the sort of thing you shouldn't have to do on your own.
No.
It's just as well that I found a plumber with a hole in his schedule.
Hey?
This afternoon he came and fixed it all up. But, thanks for the book.
What'll it be?
Inspector's got to be happy with that.
I'm sorry, what are we talking about?
Last month's crime stat.
Oh, yes. Well, they are put down.
Got 2 words for you. Self-hypnosis.
What?
It'll help you relax and get to sleep. I could teach you after work.
I don't need self-hypnosis, Jones. I need a plumber. I didn't get any sleep last night because of a dripping tap.
No, that'll be the washer. You don't need a plumber for that.
Don't tell me. You can do it.
Just say the word.
Morning, all.
Hey.
Morning.
Hey, so how'd you go? Very nice. The bishop's wife makes a particularly fine pumpkin scone. And Bishop Reynolds has agreed to perform the ceremony.
Ah, beautiful.
And the big day is...
First Saturday in October.
A spring wedding. Congratulations, boss.
That's soon. Doesn't give you much time.
Yes, don't I know it.
Yeah, well done, boss.
Thank you, Joan.
Have you organised the honeymoon yet?
As a matter of fact, I have, yes.
Well, don't hold out. Where are you going?
But the resort of your dreams?
In my dreams, I'd actually prefer to be fishing.
Where are you going fishing?
Unfortunately, no. I've chosen another destination.
Where?
I'm not saying. It's a surprise.
Grace doesn't know about it.
Well, it'd hardly be a surprise if she did know about it, would it?
She'll love it, whatever it is.
Thanks.
Oh, it's not that dodgy motel on the other side of St David's, is it?
The one with the mirrors on the ceiling.
The videos.
Yeah, all right, you two. Look after this gentleman.
Yes, sir. How can I help you?
Yeah, I'm Mark Robbins. I'm here to report an attempted murder.
Right, and you're the intended victim, eh?
No, it's the girlfriend. My wife's trying to kill her. She was bright as a button this morning.
Your wife?
My girlfriend. And then I got a phone call from her work saying she just keeled over. And now she's fighting for her life in hospital. The doctor thinks she might have been poisoned.
And you think your wife did this?
Oh, she hates Tonya's guts.
Well, has she made any threats?
Oh, no, but she thought I'd go running back. She never thought I'd end up with Tonya.
I'm sorry, Mr. Robbins, we're going to need some more evidence.
You want evidence?
Boysenberry jam.
It's Aunt Sally's boysenberry jam. My wife's the Aunt Sally on the label.
And Tonya...
Well, ate this for breakfast?
I reckon.
Well, you only reckon?
Oh, my band had a gig last night. I didn't get up till late. But when I got up, that was on the kitchen table.
Oh, Mr. Robbins, we're going to need a
Just
lot more
test
time.
it. I mean, it's probably full of poison.
It's definitely poisoning.
Any ideas?
I'd only be guessing. I'm still waiting on test results.
And will you know?
Is it likely to be fatal?
We're doing the best we can.
Okay, Mel, if you had to guess, what would it be?
Organophosphates.
Why?
Well, from experience, we've often had farmers in here with similar symptoms. Usually because they've been careless spraying with pesticides.
I'm guessing Tonya's not a farmer?
No, she works in the post office. Sally's the one with the farm.
I hardly know the woman. Why would I want to poison her?
She's your husband's new girlfriend.
I was the one who ended our marriage. It's no skin off my nose that Mark's taken up with someone